Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever felt like the weight of the world was pressing down on you? That the struggles you face, the pain you endure could break you? It's in those moments, the darkest of hours, that something truly remarkable can happen. You see, the human spirit is capable of extraordinary transformation. Every single person in this room has felt pain at some point in some form. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, the heartache of a broken dream, or the quiet suffering of daily challenges, pain is universal. But it is what we choose to do with that pain that defines who we are. What if I told you that the very thing you fear, the thing that makes you feel vulnerable, is the very thing that can propel you into your power? The truth is, there is no growth without struggle. We must lean into our pain, not run from it. In fact, it's when we allow ourselves to sit with our pain, to truly feel it, that we can begin the alchemical process of transformation. You see, pain, when processed with awareness, doesn't diminish us, it refines us. It becomes a forge in which we are molded into something stronger, wiser, and more resilient. It's like a fire that burns away what no longer serves us, leaving only the essence of who we truly are. And from that place of clarity, we can begin to rise. One of the most powerful truths I have learned is that it is not weakness to be vulnerable, it is strength. We live in a world that tells us to hide our scars, to pretend that we have it all together. But I ask you, what if true power lies in embracing our flaws, our struggles, and our scars? When we allow ourselves to be fully seen, we step into our authentic power. There is power in self-awareness, in recognizing that our pain is not an enemy, but a teacher. Every hardship we face is an invitation to look deeper, to ask ourselves, what is this here to teach me? When we listen carefully, we find that pain often holds the key to unlocking our purpose. It nudges us toward growth, towards the next version of ourselves. And here's the thing, you don't have to do it alone. Pain can feel isolating, but the truth is, the greatest transformations often come when we lean on one another. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. Seek out those who see the strength in you when you can't see it yourself. There's incredible power in community, in knowing that there are others who understand, who have walked similar paths. True power, however, isn't about controlling others or suppressing your emotions. It's about owning your story. It's about using your experiences, your scars, your struggles as the foundation upon which you build your greatness. When you turn your pain into purpose, you begin to step into your full potential. You no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstance, but as the hero of your own journey. And let me tell you something, the world needs your power. When we turn our pain into power, it doesn't just benefit us, it benefits everyone around us. The women who rise from adversity and share their stories, their lessons, their strength, they become beacons of hope. They show others what is possible. Pain transforms us, yes, but it also gives us the ability to deeply empathize with others. We become more compassionate, more understanding, more driven to make a difference. Every woman who turns pain into power becomes an advocate, a champion for those who are still finding their way. So today, I want to leave you with this look at your pain, not as a burden, but as a source of strength. Use it to fuel your purpose. Trust that on the other side of your struggle, there is a version of yourself waiting to emerge stronger, wiser, and ready to shine. You are powerful beyond measure. Your pain does not define you, it refines you. And from that refinement, a force is born. So let the world see you rise. Resilience is not a trait that we are born with. It's something that is developed through experience, particularly through adversity. It's the ability to navigate through life's challenges, to bend without breaking, and to rise stronger after every setback. Life will always throw challenges our way, some expected, some completely unforeseen. But the true measure of resilience is not in avoiding these challenges, but in how we respond to them. It's about embracing the uncomfortable, facing the pain head on, and finding the courage to continue even when every part of you might want to give up. For many of us, the hardest part of resilience is recognizing that pain is not a sign of weakness or something to be avoided, but a natural part of our human journey. It's a teacher, a guide, showing us not only where we need to grow, but also where we already have strength. True resilience doesn't mean pushing down your emotions or pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It's about giving yourself the space to feel, process, and then rise. In those moments of vulnerability and brokenness, resilience quietly takes root. When you tap into resilience, you realize that the most profound growth often happens in the moments of struggle. It's in the hardest times that we often uncover strengths we didn't even know we had. Resilience is not a constant state of being. It's something we cultivate, something we nurture through the challenges we face. And while it may feel like resilience is a long road, it's also a reminder that every challenge we encounter is an opportunity to build a foundation of strength that carries us through even the toughest times. It's not about avoiding pain. It's about learning to use it as a tool for transformation. Pain is an inevitable part of life, and while it's often uncomfortable to acknowledge, it is essential to our growth. Many of us try to avoid pain, push it away, or hide it, thinking that it makes us weak or vulnerable. But in truth, pain is a universal experience that connects us all. Whether it's physical, emotional, or mental, pain is something that each of us will face at some point. The key lies not in escaping it, but in recognizing and accepting it as part of our human journey. Acknowledging pain means allowing ourselves to feel what we feel without judgment or suppression. It means being honest with ourselves about our struggles rather than pretending that everything is fine when it isn't. Often we're taught to push through pain, to keep moving forward without addressing what's hurting us. But ignoring our pain doesn't make it go away, it simply prolongs the healing process. When we acknowledge pain, we give ourselves permission to fully experience it, and in doing so, we create space for healing and transformation to begin. When we acknowledge pain, we also give ourselves the opportunity to learn from it. Pain often holds valuable lessons about our limitations, our needs, our boundaries, and our desires. It's in the deepest moments of suffering that we often discover who we truly are, what we're capable of, and what we truly value. This recognition is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to our strength. It's the moment we choose to confront our emotions, to understand them, and to find a path forward that leads us to a place of deeper understanding. It's important to remember that acknowledging pain is not about dwelling in it or letting it define us. It's about recognizing its presence, understanding its purpose, and using it as a stepping stone towards personal growth. Pain, when embraced, becomes not a burden, but a powerful tool for transformation. It teaches us resilience, empathy, and the capacity to heal and grow. And by acknowledging it, we free ourselves from its control, allowing it to fuel our journey towards strength and empowerment. Turning pain into purpose is a transformative process, one that allows us to take something that feels destructive and reshape it into something meaningful and empowering. Pain, in its rawest form, often feels like it will consume us. It's the kind of experience that can make us question everything ourselves, our worth, and our direction. But within that pain lies the potential for incredible change. When we allow ourselves to reflect on our struggles, we begin to see that there is more to our pain than just hurt. It can be the very thing that drives us forward. The first step in turning pain into purpose is acknowledging its presence and accepting it as part of the human experience. Pain is a natural response to loss, disappointment, and fear. But once we accept that pain is inevitable, we can begin to look at it with a different perspective. Instead of allowing it to paralyze us, we can use it as fuel for growth. We have the power to reframe our pain, to change the narrative from one of victimhood to one of resilience and strength. This shift in perspective is not always easy, but it is incredibly powerful. It allows us to see that our pain does not define us, but rather it is an experience that can propel us toward our higher purpose. Once we recognize pain as a catalyst for growth, we begin to ask ourselves a different set of questions. What can I learn from this? How can this experience help me become the person I am meant to be? By looking at our struggles with curiosity instead of fear, we begin to uncover valuable lessons. Pain often teaches us about our own limits, but also about our incredible capacity to overcome them. It shows us the areas where we need healing, the parts of ourselves that need nurturing, and the strengths we never realized we had. When we transform our pain into purpose, we are no longer victims of circumstance. We become creators of our own story. The very experiences that once held us back now become the foundation for our greatest achievements. Whether it's through helping others who are going through similar struggles, advocating for causes we now care about deeply, or simply choosing to live our lives with a deeper sense of gratitude and understanding, our pain can serve as the force that pushes us toward meaningful action. This process is not about bypassing the pain or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about finding the courage to move through it and let it teach us. Pain can be a wake-up call, an invitation to stop living on autopilot and to begin living with intention. When we align ourselves with the lessons of our pain, we gain clarity about what truly matters to us and what we want to contribute to the world. Suddenly, our suffering becomes the bridge that connects us to a more purposeful, empowered life. Through this transformation, we begin to see that our pain has not been in vain. It is not a burden, but a gift that can help us shape our destiny. Pain, when turned into purpose, becomes a tool for creating a life that is not only more fulfilling, but also more connected to others. It allows us to lead with empathy, with wisdom, and with an unwavering sense of purpose. And in doing so, we inspire others to do the same, showing them that they too have the power to transform their own pain into something beautiful and meaningful. Strength and vulnerability is one of the most profound truths we can embrace. In a world that often prizes perfection and vulnerability and the appearance of having it all together, it can feel like weakness to be open to share our flaws or to express our pain. But in reality, vulnerability is not a sign of fragility, rather, it is a testament to our courage and authenticity. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we're choosing to show up as we truly are, without the masks we often wear to protect ourselves from judgment or rejection. Vulnerability is the space where real connection happens. When we allow ourselves to be seen fully and completely, it creates a bridge between us and others. It's in our raw, unguarded moments that we find true intimacy, empathy, and understanding. We all have our struggles, our imperfections, and our stories, but it's when we share those parts of ourselves with others that we begin to realize we are not alone. Vulnerability is what makes us human. It's a universal experience that connects us all, and it is through our shared vulnerabilities that we build deeper relationships and communities. At its core, vulnerability is also an act of self-acceptance. It's the recognition that we don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love, respect, and success. We don't need to hide the parts of ourselves that we perceive as weak or broken. Instead, we can embrace them, learn from them, and allow them to shape our growth. Vulnerability allows us to show up with authenticity without the need to conform to societal expectations of what strength should look like. The truth is, strength is not about holding it all together, it's about being able to fall apart and rise again. It's the willingness to lean into our discomfort and face our fears head on. When we open ourselves up to vulnerability, we also open ourselves up to growth. Vulnerability is the gateway to healing, transformation, and resilience. It's only when we acknowledge our pain, our fears, and our uncertainties that we can begin to heal and move forward. The process of being vulnerable invites us to reflect, learn, and grow. It's a strength that comes from within, one that is not built by hiding from our emotions or pretending that everything is fine, but by being brave enough to confront them, face them, and let them guide us towards something greater. In embracing vulnerability, we also allow ourselves to experience the depth of life. It's easy to stay in our comfort zones, to put up walls that keep us safe from rejection or disappointment. But in doing so, we miss out on the richness that comes from being fully present, from experiencing life as it is, with all its beauty and its messiness. Strength in vulnerability means embracing the full spectrum of emotions, joy, sadness, hope, and fear, and allowing each of them to shape us into a more complete version of ourselves. When we are vulnerable, we also invite others to be vulnerable with us. This creates a ripple effect, where openness and honesty become the foundation of deeper connections. When someone shares their vulnerability with us, it's a sign of trust, and when we respond with empathy and understanding, we create a safe space for growth and healing. It's a circle of strength that only deepens the more we nurture it. In the end, the strength we find in vulnerability is not about being immune to pain or fear, but about the courage to show up as our true selves. It's about being willing to be imperfect, to be human, and to allow ourselves to be seen for who we really are. There is power in this kind of honesty, power in the willingness to expose our hearts and minds, and in that we discover the truest form of strength, one that is rooted in authenticity, resilience, and the unwavering belief that our imperfections do not make us less worthy, but more human, more connected, and more capable of transforming our lives. Self-awareness is the key that unlocks the door to personal transformation. It is the ability to look inward, to understand our thoughts, emotions, and actions, and to recognize how they shape our lives. The power of self-awareness lies in its capacity to guide us toward making choices that align with our true selves, rather than simply reacting to circumstances or external expectations. When we are self-aware, we are in tune with who we really are, what we need, and what drives us. It's the foundation for growth, healing, and empowerment. Self-awareness begins with introspection, the willingness to pause, reflect, and honestly assess our inner world. This is not an easy task because it requires us to confront parts of ourselves that we might not always want to acknowledge. It's easier to stay on autopilot, to move through life without questioning our patterns, our emotions, or our motivations. But it is only by becoming aware of these internal drivers that we can begin to change them. The power of self-awareness lies in the clarity it brings. Once we understand why we react in certain ways, why we feel certain emotions, or why we make specific decisions, we can start to shift our behavior in a more intentional direction. The process of self-awareness involves not just understanding our strengths, but also recognizing our weaknesses. It's about being willing to face the parts of ourselves that we might consider flawed or imperfect. These are the areas where growth often resides. Self-awareness helps us identify the limiting beliefs or negative patterns that hold us back from realizing our full potential. It reveals the stories we've been telling ourselves that no longer serve us. Once we see these patterns clearly, we can choose to break them, freeing ourselves from old habits and creating space for new, healthier ones. In addition to recognizing our limitations, self-awareness allows us to celebrate our strengths and accomplishments. It encourages us to acknowledge the progress we've made, even in the midst of challenges. Being self-aware means appreciating our own growth and understanding that it is not about perfection, but about continual evolution. We learn to give ourselves credit for the small victories, for the resilience we've shown, and for the ways in which we have become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate along the way. One of the greatest benefits of self-awareness is that it fosters greater emotional intelligence. When we are aware of our own emotions, we are better equipped to manage them. We can identify when we are angry, sad, or frustrated, and we can choose how to respond rather than being overwhelmed by them. This emotional clarity not only enhances our own well-being, but also improves our relationships with others. Self-awareness allows us to better understand how our actions and words affect those around us, making us more empathetic and considerate in our interactions. Self-awareness also empowers us to live with intention. When we are in tune with our values, desires, and goals, we can make decisions that align with what truly matters to us. We stop living reactively or according to other people's expectations. Instead, we begin to take charge of our own narrative, choosing paths that are authentic to who we are. This sense of agency over our lives is incredibly empowering. It allows us to move forward with clarity and confidence, knowing that we are making choices that reflect our true selves. Self-awareness helps us cultivate a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. It creates an inner harmony between who we are and how we live. It enables us to accept ourselves, our flaws, our imperfections, and our strengths, and to approach life with a sense of balance and authenticity. When we are self-aware, we are more likely to live in alignment with our deepest values, leading to a life that feels meaningful and true to who we are. Through self-awareness, we learn to trust ourselves, to honor our needs, and to make choices that nourish our souls. The power of self-awareness is transformative. It opens the door to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. It allows us to break free from limiting beliefs and behaviors, to embrace our true potential, and to live a life that is guided by purpose and authenticity. It is the foundation for personal growth, emotional well-being, and empowered action. When we are self-aware, we are better equipped to navigate life's challenges, to embrace change, and to become the best versions of ourselves. No one should ever have to face life's challenges alone. While personal strength and resilience are essential, the power of support and community cannot be underestimated. Our connection to others provides the emotional nourishment, encouragement, and perspective we need to endure hardships, grow, and thrive. It's in the relationships we cultivate that we find the strength to keep going, even when the road seems too difficult to walk alone. Support isn't just about offering help when things go wrong. It's about creating a sense of belonging, understanding, and shared humanity that uplifts us through all of life's seasons. When we lean into a supportive community, we open ourselves to the idea that we are not isolated in our struggles. We realize that other people have faced similar challenges, felt similar pain, and yet have persevered. This shared experience creates a deep sense of empathy and solidarity, reminding us that we are part of something greater than ourselves. It breaks down the walls of loneliness and isolation, allowing us to feel seen and heard, even in our most vulnerable moments. A supportive community provides us with different perspectives and valuable feedback. When we're caught in the whirlwind of our own emotions or struggles, it can be difficult to see things clearly. But the people who care about us can help us step back, offering insights and wisdom that we might have missed. They can help us reframe our challenges, reminding us of our strengths and our progress. This external perspective not only gives us hope, but it also encourages personal growth as it pushes us to think outside our own limited frame of reference and consider new possibilities for overcoming obstacles. Sometimes it's in our moments of weakness that we find the greatest strength in others. When we are vulnerable and open about our pain, we invite others to offer their support. This may come in the form of a listening ear, a comforting word, or even a shared silence where no words are necessary. The act of giving and receiving support strengthens bonds and reinforces the idea that we do not have to carry our burdens alone. By reaching out to others, we not only receive the help we need, but we also create an environment where vulnerability and compassion are welcomed, where mutual support becomes the norm. Communities are also spaces where we are inspired by the strength of others. When we witness someone else's resilience, how they have faced their own pain, bounced back, and emerge stronger, it serves as a powerful reminder of our own potential. We learn from others' stories and in turn share our own. The cycle of giving and receiving within a community can ignite a ripple effect of hope, encouragement, and inspiration. It shows us that strength is not something that comes from within in isolation, but something that grows through connection, collaboration, and shared purpose. Support and community also remind us of our shared humanity. In a world that can sometimes feel divisive or disconnected, being part of a supportive group fosters a sense of unity. We are reminded that we are all on this journey together, navigating our own individual paths, yet connected by the same universal experiences: love, loss, joy, and pain. This sense of unity creates a foundation where we can offer support to others even as we receive it. In this way, the role of support and community is reciprocal. It is not just about what others can give to us, but also what we can offer in return. It creates a circle of kindness and care that uplifts everyone involved. Furthermore, when we are part of a community, we are given opportunities to contribute. In helping others, we often find healing for ourselves. Offering support is not just about receiving, it's also about giving. And in the act of giving, we tap into our own sense of purpose and fulfillment. This can take many forms, from offering advice, sharing a personal experience, or simply being present for someone who needs us. As we support others, we often gain a greater sense of perspective and gratitude for our own circumstances. It's a reminder that our struggles, while real, are part of a larger journey that connects us to those around us. In the end, the role of support and community is invaluable. They provide us with the strength to overcome life's most challenging moments and the inspiration to continue pursuing our goals. They offer a sense of belonging and a reminder that we are not alone in our journey. Through the support of others, we are reminded of our own resilience, our capacity for growth, and the profound impact we can have on the world around us. In community, we find not only strength, but a shared sense of purpose that carries us through even the toughest times, reminding us that we all have something important to offer. Personal power is the ability to take control of your own life, to shape your reality according to your values, choices, and actions. It is not about dominating others or exerting influence over the world around you, but rather about embracing your inner strength and confidence to live authentically and intentionally. At its core, personal power is about understanding who you are, what you stand for, and how you navigate the challenges life throws your way. It's the ability to trust in your own instincts, make decisions that align with your true self, and take responsibility for the outcomes of those decisions without blaming external circumstances or other people. Taking responsibility is another key aspect of personal power. This means owning your decisions, actions, and emotions and not passing the blame on to others or circumstances. When you take responsibility for your life, you stop being a passive observer and become an active creator of your reality. You recognize that you have the power to change your mindset, your behavior, and your circumstances, and that every choice you make has an impact on your future. With this sense of responsibility comes empowerment as you realize that you are not at the mercy of life's circumstances, but that you hold the reins of your own journey. Personal power also involves a deep sense of trust in yourself. It's the confidence to follow your instincts and intuition, even when the path ahead is uncertain. Trusting yourself means believing that you have the capacity to make decisions that are in alignment with your highest good. It's about letting go of self-doubt and the need for external approval. When you trust yourself, you stop second-guessing every choice you make and begin to move forward with conviction, knowing that you have the strength and wisdom to navigate whatever comes your way. At its essence, personal power is about embracing your full potential. It's the recognition that you are capable of achieving greatness, not because of any external validation, but because you have everything within you to create the life you envision. Personal power is not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about the willingness to step into your own greatness, to trust in your abilities, and to boldly pursue your dreams, knowing that you have the inner strength to overcome any challenge. Personal power comes from living authentically, being true to yourself, and having the courage to pursue your dreams. It is about the belief that you are enough as you are and that your voice, your choices, and your actions matter. When you tap into your personal power, you stop living for others and start living for yourself. You begin to create a life that is uniquely your own, one that is filled with purpose, passion, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for. The catalyst of transformation is often an event, realization, or shift that propels us into a new phase of life, compelling us to evolve and grow in ways we never imagined. It can come in many forms: a painful experience, a sudden opportunity, a wake-up call, or even a moment of clarity that shakes us out of complacency. While transformation may be gradual, there is usually a defining moment that sets the process in motion, a spark that ignites the change we've been avoiding or unaware of. This catalyst, though sometimes unsettling or unexpected, is the turning point that forces us to reassess who we are and what we truly want. In many cases, the catalyst for transformation arises from a place of discomfort. Pain, loss, or failure often serve as the triggers that shake us out of our routine lives and challenge our perspectives. When things are going well, it's easy to remain stuck in old patterns or to take our circumstances for granted. But when we experience hardship, it forces us to confront our limitations and reevaluate our priorities. Whether it's the end of a relationship, the loss of a job, or a personal crisis, these moments often force us to ask deeper questions about ourselves. Who am I really? What do I want from life? Am I truly living in alignment with my purpose? In these moments of discomfort, we are presented with the opportunity to transform our lives by choosing a different path, a path that leads us toward a more authentic and empowered version of ourselves. The catalyst for transformation can also emerge from moments of inspiration or realization. Sometimes we don't need to experience pain to be motivated for change. A single conversation, a book, a piece of art, or a personal encounter can plant a seed of possibility within us. This catalyst may come in the form of someone else's story or a new insight that shifts our mindset, opening us to new possibilities. It's as if a veil has been lifted, and we suddenly see life with new eyes. This kind of transformation may not always be dramatic, but it is just as powerful because it creates a shift in our thinking and our approach to life. When we are inspired, we often feel called to take action, to pursue new dreams, or to break free from old habits that no longer serve us. Another powerful catalyst for transformation can be a desire for something greater, a longing for a life that is more meaningful, fulfilling, and aligned with our true desires. Sometimes it is not pain or hardship that prompts change, but an internal desire for growth, progress, or a more authentic existence. This inner yearning can arise when we feel disconnected from our purpose or when we begin to question the choices we've made up until that point. This longing for something more often drives us to explore new avenues, learn new skills, or make difficult decisions that push us out of our comfort zones. It's the recognition that we are capable of more, that we deserve more, and that we can create a future that truly reflects our potential. No matter the source of the catalyst, transformation is always about breaking free from the past, from old patterns, and from self-limiting beliefs. It is about shedding old skins and embracing the unknown, stepping into a new version of ourselves with courage and confidence. This shift often involves a period of discomfort as we let go of what is familiar and venture into uncharted territory, but it is through this discomfort that the greatest growth happens. The catalyst of transformation might feel like a disruption, but it is this very disruption that creates the conditions for profound change. The catalyst of transformation is a moment that calls us to awaken to our true selves, to embrace change, and to take charge of our destinies. It challenges us to redefine our goals, our values, and our potential. And while this transformation may be uncomfortable or even painful, it is also deeply empowering, as it opens the door to a life that is more authentic, more fulfilling, and more aligned with who we are meant to be. In embracing the catalyst of transformation, we step into a new chapter of growth and possibility, one that allows us to live our lives with purpose and passion. Empathy is often seen as a soft, nurturing quality, but in reality, it is a profound strength. It is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, to truly connect with them on a deep emotional level. While many might associate strength with traits like resilience, confidence, and decisiveness, empathy is a foundational strength that enables us to build meaningful relationships, inspire others, and create a sense of unity and understanding in a world that often feels divided. It is through empathy that we not only support others, but also grow as individuals, learning to see the world from diverse perspectives and respond with compassion and care. At its core, empathy allows us to move beyond our own experiences and put ourselves in the shoes of others. It's not simply about feeling sorry for someone or offering sympathy. It's about truly understanding what they are going through, acknowledging their pain, joy, or struggle, and responding in a way that shows we value their feelings and humanity. This kind of emotional connection fosters trust and openness, creating an environment where people feel safe to be vulnerable and share their authentic selves. Empathy creates a space for healing, for understanding, and for bridging gaps between people who may come from different walks of life. Empathy as a strength is particularly important in times of conflict or adversity. In moments of tension, it can be easy to dig in our heels, become defensive, or dismiss experiences of others. However, it is empathy that allows us to listen deeply, to try and understand where someone else is coming from, even if we don't agree with their perspective. By practicing empathy, we open the door to dialogue and reconciliation, where differences can be explored with respect and compassion. It is empathy that can turn a heated argument into a productive conversation, and that can transform an adversarial situation into an opportunity for connection and understanding. One of the most powerful aspects of empathy is its ability to inspire action. When we empathize with someone's pain, struggle, or need, it motivates us to act in ways that can help alleviate their suffering or support their journey. Whether it's offering a listening ear, giving our time, or advocating for change, empathy moves us to not only understand, but also to make a difference. This action is not born from a sense of obligation, but from a place of genuine care and concern. It is this deep emotional connection that fuels compassion, and through compassion, we create positive change in the lives of those around us. Empathy also fosters emotional intelligence, which is a critical aspect of personal and professional success. When we are empathetic, we become more attuned to the emotions of others and are better equipped to respond in ways that are thoughtful and constructive. We learn to navigate social situations with greater awareness, adapting our behavior and communication style to meet the emotional needs of those we interact with. In leadership, for instance, empathy is a crucial quality, as it enables leaders to connect with their teams, understand their challenges, and provide support that fosters growth and productivity. It's a strength that enables individuals to bring out the best in others, cultivating collaboration, loyalty, and trust. In addition to its power to strengthen relationships and inspire action, empathy is a gateway to personal growth. When we empathize with others, we expand our own emotional capacity and deepen our understanding of human nature. We begin to see the world through a wider lens, recognizing the complexity of human experiences and the ways in which our own struggles are shared by others. This broader perspective helps us let go of judgment and cultivate greater patience and kindness. We develop a sense of interconnectedness, understanding that each person's journey is shaped by a unique combination of circumstances, challenges, and triumphs. Through this awareness, we are better able to approach life with humility and grace, recognizing that we are all part of a larger story. Moreover, empathy is a vital force in creating communities of care and support. In a world where individualism often dominates, empathy acts as the antidote to isolation, encouraging us to build connections that transcend differences and unite us in our shared humanity. When we approach others with empathy, we create spaces where people feel valued, heard, and understood. This sense of belonging fosters stronger relationships, promotes collective well-being, and enables communities to thrive. Whether in families, workplaces, or broader society, empathy lays the foundation for a culture of mutual respect, kindness, and collaboration. Empathy, therefore, is not just a passive feeling, but an active and empowering force. It is a strength that enables us to understand and uplift others, to inspire change, to build communities, and to cultivate personal growth. It is a force that moves us from simply acknowledging the suffering of others to taking meaningful action in response. And in doing so, it enriches our lives and the lives of those around us, creating a world that is kinder, more compassionate, and more connected. As we come to the end of this journey, it's important to remember that empowerment is not something that is given to us, but something that we must claim for ourselves. It is a process of recognizing our inherent worth, understanding our potential, and taking the steps necessary to step into the fullest version of ourselves. Empowerment is about reclaiming our voice, our choices, and our agency, no matter what challenges or obstacles we may face. It is about standing in our truth and allowing our actions, beliefs, and values to reflect the strength and power that resides within each of us. True empowerment doesn't come from external sources, it comes from within. It begins when we decide that we are worthy of success, happiness, and fulfillment. It's about having the courage to pursue our dreams, even when they seem impossible, and the resilience to keep moving forward when the road gets tough. Empowerment is not about waiting for permission or seeking validation from others. It's about trusting ourselves enough to take bold, courageous steps in the direction of our aspirations. It's about believing in our abilities and knowing that we are capable of creating the change we seek in our lives and in the world around us. Empowerment is also about self-awareness and self-compassion. To be truly empowered, we must first acknowledge our own strengths and limitations. We must embrace all of who we are, our past, our pain, our triumphs, and our flaws without judgment or shame. By accepting ourselves fully, we free ourselves from the constraints of self-doubt and fear. Empowerment means showing up for ourselves even when we are faced with uncertainty and being kind to ourselves in the process. It's about realizing that we don't have to be perfect to be powerful. We just have to be authentic and courageous enough to step into who we really are. Empowerment also involves taking responsibility for our lives and our choices. It means recognizing that while we may not always have control over external circumstances, we always have control over how we respond to them. We can choose how to react, how to move forward, and how to learn from every situation. Taking ownership of our decisions empowers us to create a life that reflects our values, our goals, and our purpose. When we stop blaming others or circumstances for our difficulties, we reclaim our power and become active participants in our own transformation. Furthermore, empowerment is about lifting others up along the way. True empowerment is not a solitary journey, it is one that is shared with others. As we step into our own power, we have the responsibility to encourage and empower those around us. It's about creating a ripple effect of support, compassion, and growth. When we empower others, we amplify the collective strength of our communities, inspiring even more people to rise and claim their own potential. This cycle of empowerment creates a world where people lift each other up, where collaboration and kindness are the norm, and where everyone is encouraged to be their best selves. Ultimately, the path to empowerment is a journey of self-discovery, self-belief, and self-affirmation. It is a journey that requires courage, resilience, and the willingness to embrace our own power. By choosing to step into our greatness, we not only transform our own lives, but also become a beacon of hope and inspiration for others. Empowerment is the key that unlocks the door to our fullest potential, and when we step through it, we are not just changing our own reality, but the world around us.